Israeli forces have begun the demolition of about 100 Palestinian homes in the occupied West Bank, built close to the separation barrier. The residents of Wadi al-Hummus had fought a 7-year legal battle to overturn the military eviction order, but Israel's High Court dismissed the case, despite the land being under the administration of the Palestinian Authority. Our correspondent Rob Matheson is live for us at Wadi al-Hummus in the occupied West Bank. And this is the moment, Rob, that people we've heard from in the past few days have dreaded. The demolition of their homes has begun.
That's right. About 50 minutes ago, Elizabeth, we heard very loud bangs coming from a building right next door to where we are now. And that was a large mechanical digger which was being used to rip off part of the roof of that building. And that building was home up to this morning to 2 families. We understand the father of one of those families has been sitting on a chair down in the street below us, watching his home being torn apart. Let me also just draw your attention to, there's a building just towards the left-hand side, on the other side of the separation fence there, with a large crane next to it, a large digger next to it. And that, up until a few moments ago, has been taking large chunks out of the side of that building with a big mechanical claw. And just behind me, this unfinished building here, you can see the construction workers, or the demolition workers, I should say, drilling holes in the wall. We understand that they're probably going to put some sort of explosive in there to try to eventually bring the building down. When we got here in the early hours of this morning, there was a very big security presence here. And in the pink house that you can just see next to the unfinished building that I was talking about earlier, there was a family living there. And as we arrived, we heard screams and shouts, and we saw Israeli security forces moving into the building and removing people. Now, we don't know how many of those people in there were the family that was living there and how many were activists that have been trying to work with the families and defend the families as they've been attempting to get essentially a stay of execution in this demolition process. Now, the reason this is all happening, Elizabeth, is simply because of a rule that was made by the military about 8 years ago, which said that no buildings could be constructed within 250 meters of the separation wall or the separation fence. And the separation fence here in this neighborhood runs the middle of that road, and you can see how close these buildings are on either side. Now, the intriguing thing about this is that these buildings were originally given permits and authorizations by the Palestinian Authority, which administers this part of the neighborhood. But despite that, the Israelis say, no, that doesn't matter, because these buildings were put up after the military ruling, which said that the buildings should not be within that distance, so therefore they have to come down. It's a very somber, very sad day for many people here.
Absolutely, Rob. Israel demolishing Palestinian homes is not new, though, but will this be the first time that they're demolishing homes that are in areas under the Palestinian Authority's administration?
Yes, that's correct. This is something that the Palestinian Authority is very concerned about. They're concerned that this is essentially setting a precedent, that the use of this 8-year-old law, that for security reasons buildings can't be constructed within 250 meters of the security fencing, of the separation fencing, can be used to try to destroy, get rid of other Palestinian homes along the length of the separation wall. So they're very concerned that this is going to be basically the first stage in an Israeli attempt to try to clear more Palestinian-owned homes away from areas in the separation wall. And of course, they're then concerned about what happens after that. Just where does this process end?
Rob, thank you very much for that. That is Rob Matheson, live from the occupied West Bank.